Hi everybody, I'm back with the 36 Geico twin. I removed the tray and it's way over there. It's way over there. And all the other stuff is over in the hatch. So it was brought to my attention that there might have been some bubbles in the layup by Neil. And before I start going over it, I kind of can't believe it, you know, because we got a bubble here, which I circled. I'm circling them in with a mechanical pencil, and we got a bubble here, which is right where the I guess where the sponson, where the step comes up. So it's like, I guess it's not really super important that that particular spot is completely filled in. But then it's also on that one. And then I also have a larger bubble back there. Circled that in pencil as well. Now if you look close, you can kind of see, hold on, let me get this wire out of the way. If you look close, you could kind of see a little bit of discoloration. I'll block the light a little bit. See the discoloration if you look right there? That's what really initially made me see the bubble, and actually you can even see a little bit of lifting of the fiberglass. Let me see if I can get the pencil in here to point. But you see right there, I can actually, if I extend the mechanical pencil, I can stick it in those little holes right there because the fiberglass lifted. Now, that side isn't so bad. I could live with that and repair it relatively easily. Now let me zoom back out here. But the other side is kind of what irritates me the most, and it kind of shows me that I think Howard's boat might have had this same issue just because of where the bubble is. I'll take my finger out from in front of the camera. I'm trying to do this with a light in between me and the camera. Now you see that? That one that I circled right there, that is literally this edge right here. And I believe that's what came off on Howard's boat, which I saw the video of Howard's boat, and I think that might have cracked before he even flipped and crashed, because just the way it was acting, it just seemed very erratic for no reason. The water was smooth, and then all of a sudden, just the left side started acting really weird and bouncing, and then he flipped over. And I think that might have been the cause of his issue, but that's just speculation. Now, as for the rest, you can see I circled those bubbles up there. More bubbles just like in the back. They're really high, and I can actually stick the pencil in them. All on this. This is all lifted fiberglass, all in the middle here. Everything else looks okay, but those corners, that little guy there, it's just lifted fiberglass. Alright, a little bit more of a review on this hull. Let me flip it here. So now I have it in the stand on its side here. We're going to be looking at the seam tape. Now I'll try to, let me get the pencil So the seam tape starts right about here. If you see that marking that I just made. Now, the seam of this boat is right about here. Okay? The end of the seam tape is here. Now, that's about a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch at most. But that, I feel like the tape is just a little bit off, or it could have had wider tape that might have reinforced the seam a little bit more. And then let me see here, what else we got going on back there. It's a little bit of lifting in that corner, but that's nothing serious. That's not structural. But this seam tape is just, see, here's the seam, here's the end of the tape. That's probably even a little worse. Isn't that the seam? Let me feel that. Yeah, that's the seam. That is the seam, alright. But yeah, so quality control could have been a little bit better on this boat. Just the hull. The electronics seem to be doing alright. There's no real shaft play with the electronics. There's no loose connections from what I can tell on the ESC and whatnot. All the hardware is really nice, strong, easily adjustable. It feels like they did much better with the epoxy. These are not going, don't feel like they're going anywhere. And the whole motor mount completely soaked in epoxy. Like, when I have to chip that out, that's gonna suck. Alright, so aside from doing, I guess in part 1 of this video, aside from doing the little CA in there to seal up the hull and all this, it's not too bad, but for someone just entering the hobby, this is not going to be something that they're going to be able to undertake and be comfortable with, I wouldn't think, unless they are used to doing fiberglass work. Yeah, I'm going to contact Proboat on this one, or Horizon, and see what they could do. If they could just send me a bare hull like this, so I can inspect it right off, then that'll be great. But if they tell me to reassemble this and send it to them, I'm just going to tell them no. I'll just deal with it. But I'll be really dissatisfied. But you know how it goes. Yeah. We'll see what happens, and I hope this was informative, because that's what I'm shooting for. And I'm probably going to be doing more of these, not with just this boat, but some people have wanted tutorials and videos on doing an inlay. I'm going to be trying to make time for that. I'm probably going to do an easier boat, but the concept is the same. You're just going to have to figure out how to do it on a harder boat. But I'm going to get you as much information as I could possibly get you. Now, so that being said, if you could like this video, I believe is on this side, and subscribe, which is on that side, then I would really appreciate it. So, thanks, and happy boating.